Hey friends, I haven't done this from my phone before, so this is a new experience. I just wanted to hop on for a minute because this is our normal scheduled live time, and while I can't stay for a whole while, I did want to say that we are almost done with the garden, and I wanted to show you, I really wanted to show you and be outside with you, but we're having a bit of a storm come through, so it's not the best day for that. Hey Joshua G, and I saw somebody else pop on. The Busy Little House, how are you guys doing? So let me just show you. I think I can, I don't know if I can flip the screen. Ooh, I can. Hello, White Trash Mama and Wasteland Acres. How are you guys doing? It's raining there lots. Yeah, so the weather here has been a bummer. Yeah, I'll show you guys. Okay, so look at that stormy weather. And it's windy. Oh goodness. But the garden is almost done. We got our hugelkultur bed right over there. And yeah, so it is, okay, so it finally quit raining for you this morning. Remind me where you are, Chris. Oh gosh, this wind. Guys, my plan today was to plant my peppers. I was going to plant like 100 or so peppers. Whoo, it's bright. I was gonna plant a lot of my peppers. I'll show you the peppers I was gonna plant. And I couldn't plant a single one because of the weather. So let me just show you the peppers because they will be getting in the ground soon. Let's see. Okay, all of these guys need to go in the ground. Holy cow, that's a lot of peppers. I know, busy little house. Oh, I'm so glad that I didn't plant them. Thank you. Yeah, the garden has been a work in progress. So we have so many different kinds of peppers. Let's see. Cayenne, we have some poblano. This one I bought is a jalapeno. It's all backwards, of course. A bunch of bell peppers. We have the ones I'm really excited about, which is the Chinese 5-color peppers. And these guys get purple blossoms, at least right now. It's not focusing, of course. So tons and tons of peppers, and these guys we're going to get in the ground today, but that did not happen. Let's see. I look like a mess because I've been out in the garden. I got home and then I went outside and I've been weeding dandelions and I've been doing lots of crazy stuff. Hey Josh, thanks for being here. I'm just popping on for a couple minutes. Actually, I'm excited because tomorrow I'm gonna do a little live homestead tour of our friend's property in Maine. Oh no, my poor tomatillos are getting like blown like crazy. Guys, this is so sad. It's like really, really windy. So tomorrow I'm gonna hop on. Oh no, busy little house. Yeah. The weather's just been crazy. Look at this, guys. It's just so windy. Oh gosh, that looks very threatening. Ugh. My hugelkultur bed's doing well though. Can't really see it because of the reflection. Sorry for that. So, goodness, it's so bright. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, so wind. You're in Chicago. Josh, you're all over the place. It's funny because isn't Chicago the windy city? I feel like we've just been slammed with weather. Yeah, we're near Rochester, New York. It's not like that bad. It's not like tornadoes or anything severe. And so I can't complain because I know there's some really, really severe weather happening in other parts of the country. But it's not super bad. Desi Lou, I'm so sorry. What happened to them? We actually had an interesting thing happen to us. You can see my kitties. They're saying hello. Oh, it's so bright. I tried the egg trick with my tomatoes, the one where you plant eggs at the bottom of the tomato hole, and I did it for 9 of my tomatoes. So we have probably 100 tomatoes. So I did it for 9, and guess what happened? Something came and dug up every single one that had an egg in it. Every single one. Yeah, the busy little house. I was just experimenting just to see what happened. I like experiments. It dug up every single one, and it left all the others completely untouched. So the ones with the eggs in the hole, it came and it dug them up. Yeah. I don't know if it was smelling the rotten egg. I think it was just smelling the egg because I just planted them recently. So it's like a little, sneaky little animal came over and harmed my tomatoes. On the bright side, a lot of them were in grow bags when I planted them. So when the little, probably raccoon, dug up the tomatoes, a lot of them were protected by their grow bags. And so they still had good root systems. Oh, it's so windy. Hey Sharon, you have to replant your sunflowers. Oh no. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing direct seed sunflowers. Actually, I'm doing direct seed for a lot of things. And I'm going to be direct seeding the sunflowers when we get back after the weekend because I ran out of time. And I'm gonna be doing a lot more pumpkins and winter squash when I get back. Foxes, oh, Desi Lou is probably a fox then. We know we have those. Ugh. Don't even get me started on the foxes. They can be such a pain. Yeah, so I planted the tomatoes that were dug up and they're okay. They might not make it, but you live and you learn, and it was an experiment, and it obviously is not something I'm gonna be doing again. So if you're thinking about doing the egg experiment with your tomatoes, make sure that you are protecting your garden from critters because, yeah, not cool. Hey Caitlin, how are you doing? I have a little snuggle over here. Look at her. So guys, this week my life has just been insane. I've had a busy work week, and then I've also been planting the entire garden. And so I wake up early, I go out in the garden and I plant, and then I go to work, and then I come back and then I plant, and then I come inside at like 9:30 or 10. And we eat dinner, and then we go to bed, and it starts all over again. So I'm not gonna lie, I was really excited about spring, but I am ready for the garden to be planted because it's really, really exhausting. I am getting a workout though, and my abs are a lot stronger. The busy little house. Okay, so yes and no. I will say that I followed probably 10% of my written plan, and that's because I am notoriously spontaneous. Also because my plan didn't make complete sense. I have to kind of see things play out. So like where my tomatoes are, I decided to plant them with the straw bedding instead of in the wood chips because the straw, I did it last year and it worked really well. So I did, or the rotted hay bedding. So I did roost out for the tomato bed. Yeah, you can't plant anything. Yeah, I can't plant anything. And so where the hugelkultur bed is, I was going to do a Three Sisters garden, so the corn, beans, and squash, but the hugelkultur bed gets afternoon shade, and so corn is like a sun lover for sure, and I just didn't want to make a bed in that area, and so instead I decided, okay, well I'm gonna make this fun, and I put a hugelkultur bed there. And so instead of having like a large Three Sisters garden, I'm just gonna have a small one this year. I have 5 large mounds of corn. So there's like a circle, and then there's like probably gonna be like 20 or so corn for each circle. And then once the corn comes up, I'll plant the beans. And then between the mounds, I'll plant the squash. So that's my plan with the Three Sisters bed. It's in one of our Back to Eden beds. So it's gonna be a Back to Eden Three Sisters bed. Also, one part of the plan that I did follow was where I planted some artichokes. I planted 3 artichokes so far, and I still have 4 to plant, and I have no idea where I'm going to put them. So that's exciting, I guess. Yeah, thanks, busy little house. It's, I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous that things aren't going to do super well this year, but I'm excited still. Thanks, busy little house, and hello along the river homestead. What is the weather like for you guys? It is just Oh, wow, now it's all sunny all of a sudden. It's like half the sky is sunny and half is just this scary cloud. And then we got our little kitty over here. She's so cute. So, just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. So, you have rain. Yeah, we haven't had a whole lot of rain. Now it's like really calm. I really want to show you guys the garden. I wish I could. I wanted to give you a full tour. I was really excited about it. I've also been working really hard on the tea garden. So it's not just a tea garden. It's also medicinal herbs and herbs/tea. And there's some dahlias that I planted in there, some other flowers. And I also planted chia seed because I've heard that you can use chia for tea as well. Yeah, I never stick to a plan. It's just not me. I'm very spontaneous. So in the tea garden, it was so fun. We're in zone 6A, although this year it's been behaving like very late. Thanks, Josh, you rock. So yesterday I was at work and I brought in a bunch of plants. I brought in a dozen eggs for a coworker and I brought in a bunch of tomato seedlings and some little things for coworkers. And I come to work and I have my plants and everybody's like, are those your plants? You know, like really confused as to why I have plants at work. And somebody even asked, are you growing these in here? Oh, hyssop. I don't have hyssop. That's cool. So I sell some plants, and what happened was I had brought them in for one coworker, but then different coworkers throughout the day kept like coming over and seeing the plants, and so then I would like hand them different plants because I couldn't help but want to give them plants, and so they paid me for them. So I had like $30 in cash or something. And so then I go down and I'm ready to head out of the office, and there is a farmer's market on Wednesday afternoons, and the farmer's market happened to be where I work, the building I work in. And I saw a guy at the farmer's market selling a lot of cool perennial herbs and flowers and plants. Of course, I go over to the tomatoes and I'm looking at the tomatoes. Hey, Stivers, how are you guys? I'm talking about my tea garden, kind of, so you'll find this interesting. So I had the $30 from plants that I sold, and I see this guy selling plants, and he was selling tomatoes, and I go over to the tomatoes, but I decided that, you know what, I have way too many tomatoes. I don't need more tomatoes. Hey, Rachel, how's it going? Arlington, Texas. So I'm like, nope, don't get tomatoes. You have enough tomatoes, no more tomatoes. So I'm just looking at the herbs, and this one herb caught my eye because I saw that it said perennial hardy herb. And I'm really attracted to perennial things right now. I just love that you plant them once and you get never-ending gifts from them. So I was reading the description, and it was called, raspberry wine bee balm. So, and I was reading the description. It was talking about how the flowers are used medicinally, and so I asked the guy at the farmer's market about the raspberry wine tea balm, or bee balm. I was like, how is this used? And he told me the story. He was saying that in Western New York, this specific variety, during the Boston Tea Party, the indigenous people here in our region taught the settlers how to use this plant to make tea. So I said, oh gosh, I have to get this for my tea garden if it basically is the perfect tea plant. So I took my, $30 that I had made from selling plants, and I spent 13 of it on this beautiful new plant. I would totally show it to you guys in the tea garden if I could, but you would be very annoyed with me because of all the wind outside. So I have bee balm, and I'm really excited about that. It is the perfect plant for me. Busy Little House, you have bee balm. Do you use it for tea? Oh, that's cool that you have a small hookah culture bed. Oh, and I actually, I love the hugelkultur bed, but it was a beast to make, and I kind of want to make small ones like all around the garden, like little different shapes, and just continue to expand that because we still have a lot of wood, and we don't have any more soil left though. We're really running low on soil, so maybe it will have to wait till next year. Make their own tea, what a thought. I know, right, Josh? It's like we had no idea what we were doing back in the day. Thank you, Along the River. It was quite the accomplishment. I'm a dreamer, for sure. I get very lofty dreams and goals, and a lot of times people don't think that I'm going to be able to make them happen because they can be a little insane, like trying to build a giant hugelkultur bed mostly by myself during a work week. It was insane, and my body was very mad at me for sure, but I did it. So let's see, cash in my hand. Oh, Desi, that's the exact same thing. That's the same thing I'm facing. I went to a farmer's market this past weekend and I bought a lot of different dahlias. I also bought more perennial herbs for the herb and tea garden. It was actually really fun. So I was talking to my friend about lavender. And we were trying to figure out if it's a perennial. We knew it was a perennial, but we've had experiences where it doesn't come back. And so we were trying to figure out like how you know if the variety you get is a perennial for your region. Bye, busy little house. Enjoy the rest of your night and your weekend. So I was talking to my friend about virtually lavender, and then I went to the farmer's market and I saw tons of lavender, and I'm thinking about, how do I know if the variety of lavender that I buy is a perennial or not, and in my region, because it always says perennial, but oftentimes it doesn't come back after winter. And so I go to this booth, and they had this amazing lavender. They had one kind that was white. I think it was snowfall or something snow in it, and it had white flowers. And I just found that so amazing. It was a lavender plant, but it had white flowers. There's this other one, and of course I bought these all, so I'm going to show you guys them in a little bit. Not today, but soon. Guy that is helping us at the shop. So the other lavender plant I found was really tall and spindly, and there was a flower on the top, but it was a really tall plant, almost like dill. I think it was actually called dilly lavender or something like that. And then there's this other one that was had variegated leaves, but kind of variegated. It was really pretty. So I wanted to buy the lavender. So I went over and I talked to the person running the booth. And I asked them, I was, asking them about the lavender and how do you know if it's a perennial? How do you know if it's going to come back? Hey, getting started on homesteading. I'm glad you're here. This is kind of a non-traditional live. I'm on my phone, and it's a lot easier. I will say that. I might do this more often. I was going to do a farm tour, or a garden tour, but the wind is roaring. So I asked the people at the booth about the lavender and whether it comes back, and they told me that they grow it in zone 4, a few hours south of us, which is actually 2 zones different, and that they leave it outside in the winter in pots, and so it is very hardy and it will come back. So I was so excited to learn that because things are confusing, especially when you go to the store and you buy a plant and you don't know where it was grown, you don't know the farmer, you can't ask them about the variety. I love going to markets where you can talk to the person that actually grew the plant and get to know the plant and its history and how it's grown and how it does best. And yes, I also love Stiver's Q&A. Great job on that one. It was a great reminder of why it's so important to just ask questions. Because now when I buy lavender, I'm going to go to that farmer's market, I'm going to go to that booth, and I'm going to buy it from there. I'm not going to buy it somewhere where I can't find out if it's a perennial or not, because then I might just be sad that I fall in love with it and it doesn't come back the next year. And it made me think about just the importance of asking questions and how much you can learn. I actually, a year ago, knew very, very, very little about gardening, about plants, about growing food or growing flowers or anything. Hey Rebecca, how are you? How's the weather in Colorado? I know you guys have had some kind of crummy weather. And I'm trying to remember, like, how did I learn what I've learned in the past year? And there's a few different large feather-footed birds. Like silkies. Silkies have feathered feet. I was trying to remember, like, what situations in my life led to me becoming so obsessed with gardening and knowing a fair amount in the past year. And I think it's just asking questions. Oh, hi, Charmaine. Thank you. I'm really glad to hear that. That's really cool. Where are you living now? And I would definitely recommend trying to start where you are. Little, microgreens in the house and whatever you can do. 3 days of snow. Yeah, I'm sorry. I think it's been a really, really tough year for pretty much most of the country. Although some places in the South seem to have been getting a nice long spring and lots of warmth. And it can be really intimidating when you see everybody have their garden just taking off and yours is just completely at a standstill because of your weather. Yes, there is a difference. It's a different breed. So, yeah, moral of the story, guys, ask questions. When I go to like a market and I meet someone who's selling maple syrup, I ask them like how they got started, and I kind of bother them with questions. I think people get annoyed at how many questions I ask, but I wouldn't be where I am without all those questions. I asked tons of questions in my grad school program. I'm always asking questions. Sometimes people will say, like, does anybody, like at work, people will be like, does everyone know what this is? And I'll be like, can you please explain? Because I find that a lot of people just don't ask the questions. They feel almost like ashamed of not knowing things. I think it's so much better if you're just willing to just absorb all the information, because chances are a lot of people don't know things and you actually are bringing to light information that people don't know. Yeah, I agree, Stivers. I like to know more than just like the basic. I want to know like the detail. Like if someone's talking, like, I get a lot of my seeds from a regionally adapted company here in New York. So she's has her own seed varieties. Bye along the river. I hope the weather gets less rainy for you guys and enjoy your long weekend. I don't know what I was saying. I forgot. 2 nurseries today. Oh, nursery. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, and you know what's interesting? You really get a sense of who has a lot of knowledge too. Sometimes I'll ask questions and I realize that some people don't know any more than I do, and so maybe that's not the best person to be a resource for me in a specific area. You know what I've had a really hard time finding resources on? Artichokes. I can't find anybody in this region who knows a lot about artichokes and growing artichokes in the north. So if anybody has a resource for me on growing artichokes in the north, I would love that, because I'm doing it. I'm going to see if it works, but I love having mentors and things. Let's see. Chris, yeah, I did see that. That's really cool. I really like Am I Gardener seeds, but the packets are pretty sparse. So I'm trying to actually support our local companies more, just because yes, it costs more, but the plants are adapted to our region and they can do really well here. But yeah, that's great to know. I love Am I Gardener because it's such an accessible option for people who are on a tight budget when it comes to seeds. And you know what else I realized this year? I used up like a lot of my seeds. Like for my bean varieties, like there's not that many beans in a pack, and I planted pretty much all of them, so hopefully we'll have a lot of beans. So it's really beautiful out right now. Let's see if I can show you guys. It's the garden. Josh, yeah, I do need to kind of buy bulk. Oh, Samantha, they are not babies anymore. Those artichokes are big. I don't know if I could show you. I'm gonna hop off because actually our farm sitter is coming by in just a second, and I'm going to just give her some instructions on what to do because we're going away tomorrow morning to Maine. So I'm gonna hop off and I'm gonna say goodbye. But tomorrow I'm gonna be going live at my friend's garden in Maine and show you guys around their homestead. It's on 2 acres. It's beautiful. They just had a baby girl. She's only 2 weeks old, and so I'm gonna be able to spend lots of time with the little adorable newborn who's probably gonna cry a lot, but I love newborns. I was a nanny for 2 years while I was in college, so I love newborns and children in general, but special thing for little tiny ones. Popping in. Yeah. So, thanks for popping. Oh, I see it. Okay, guys. Oh, I'm sorry, Providence Homestead. Well, babies are so cute. So, Providence Farmstead, I'm going to be going live tomorrow, too. I don't know what time. We'll be very spontaneous. I'm trying to just have more fun with this channel and just I don't know, be more relaxed about it and pop on and make videos that are fun, and because yeah, life's too short to do things that aren't fun. So oh, there's going to be a baby cameo as long as they let their little Eliza be included on camera. We'll see. She's pretty cute. I'll trick all you guys and I'll hold the baby. Well, you guys won't be tricked, but I'll make a thumbnail of me holding a baby and everyone's gonna be like, oh, that's be super clickbaity. But I won't do that. Okay, I'll see you later, guys. Have a wonderful long weekend, and I hope you get a